Better, yeah. Right, so, welcome guys. And what am I talking about here? Because clearly this is not a content kind of video. This is something that, you know, after I was playing Tekken today, and then I lost a couple times. Won a couple times too. I lost, you know, a couple times. And then I thought to myself, I was like, wow, you know, the reason I lost there is because I really didn't know what to do against the opponent. Like, I was like flabbergasted, you know. It's like, okay, well, you can space them out, but like, what happens when they get close? Or like, what happens when they play dual string? And then I don't know what that string is. I assume it's like, you know, punishable, so I jab, and then they know that I'm gonna jab, so they duck, and then they wall standing launch me. And it's like, wow, I didn't see that coming, because I didn't know that string was safe. So it's like, today what I'm talking about here is, I'm talking about knowledge. I'm talking about, wow, you know, this needs to go away. Keep current culture keep. Yeah, I'm talking about knowledge, and what I mean by that is, it is very important in a lot of fighting games, in all of them actually, but also it's very, very important in Tekken in particular, to know your character matchups. This is because, well, unlike a lot of other fighting games, every character in Tekken has extreme amounts of depth to them, and while Tekken is a very balanced game, it is only balanced, in my opinion, if you know what you're getting into. You know, if you know everything that the opponent's character can do, and you know how to deal with it, so that you eliminate all the gimmicks and all the stuff. But if you don't know that, then it becomes like a lopsided battle. Now, I believe a great man named Sun Tzu once said, "You will only win half your battles if you only know yourself, but you don't know the enemy." Also quoted by Mr. Aris, avoiding the puddle, etc. And it's true. You know, you only win half the time if you rely solely on the fact that you know your character very well and you know how to win with your character. But you'll win even more if you know how to deal with the opponent's character, and if you don't, well, it's a big problem. So that's basically what I'm saying here, is that there's going to be a lot of situations. The higher you go up, you know, if any of you who are watching this, well, thinking about getting better at Tekken, constantly improving, well, you're going to have to learn other characters, in my opinion. You don't have to, like, main other characters, but you should learn how to play them, because, well, when you get that high up, you're going to start facing characters who are going to use a lot of the stuff that they know that the opponent is not going to know about. Like, for example, like, Leo's back 1-4, enter forward 4 lever in Kinkei stance, and Kinkei stance is +8. If you try to interrupt Kinkei stance with anything, Leo can mash out Kinkei 2, and Kinkei 2 is uninterruptible, and if you press any buttons against that Kinkei 2, you get counter hit into a launcher, which does at least 50%. So, yeah. But you're not gonna know that just by playing the game. Like, it's just gonna happen. And then you're like, oh, why did I get counter hit? Like, how is that? Doesn't look like something that can be counter hit. It's like, well, what can I do about that? That move is safe too. It's like, well, you can duck it, but the thing is, you're not gonna know it's a high because it doesn't look like a high. It's actually, so I mean, and like Asuka's forward 2 and Jun's forward 2 are both launch punishable, but a lot of people don't know that apparently. So, you know, it's all about knowledge. It's not enough to know how to play the game. It's not enough to be good at Korean backdashing. It's not enough to be, you know, just really good at your footsies. Well, in some cases it is, if you're like extreme master footsies and no one ever gets close to you, and you're like, you make everybody whiff all the time, like playing like a Korean. But you know, there are gonna be situations where the opponent is gonna get in your face, and you're not gonna know what's coming. You know, they got some setups. Like, I'm probably gonna cut in some stuff here, but like, there was a time when I was playing a Lily player, and she did this string. I don't know, it was 3-hit string, whatever. And then, you know, after it finished, I thought it was punishable, so I tried to jab it. And then she did what's the Matterhorn, the crush everything launcher. And then I was like, whoa, crazy Matterhorn, and I died for it. So, you know, I didn't know that, because I didn't know anything about that string. I didn't know that string was safe. You know, it's probably a bad habit to try and jab punch things you don't know that are doesn't look unsafe. But it's just very important that this is the kind of game where knowledge is rewarded extremely heavily. Like, now this is easier in a lot of other fighting games, like in Marvel or Street Fighter, less on Street Fighter, more so in Marvel, where characters don't have a lot of moves, so it's easier to know what kind of attacks they have. But unfortunately, or fortunately, if you like having this much danger, stuff to work for, in Tekken everybody's got at least 80 moves, and a lot of those moves have a lot of different properties, and it could be really bad if you get hit and you don't know how you got hit. It's like Capos and Zafinas and Ravens. Like, nobody knows those characters. Well, not Capos, but nobody knows Zafina and Raven. It's why characters like those can succeed sometimes, because nobody ever plays them, so everyone just like those players kind of prey off the matchup knowledge. Even those two characters are apparently they're inherently bad, which I guess I can kind of see it. But the point is that if you want to get better at Tekken, you're gonna have to learn other characters, and you're gonna have to know what they can do, how they do it, and how to defeat them. Because in Tekken is not really a matchup-based, like character matchup-based kind of game. Sometimes it is, depending. It's like very, very specific, very specific. Like, for example, Yoshimitsu, as far as I know, cannot get a very strong combo off of blocking Lost Slide. So therefore, Lost Slide is incredibly safe to use against Yoshimitsu, since he only gets like 30 damage off of punishing Lost Slide. So it's a very good match. While Yoshimitsu, on the other hand, in my opinion, is bad against Capos and Ling Xiaoyu, because Yoshimitsu lacks a very fast low-hitting mids or low, because he lacks fast-hitting moves that hit low. And in Capos and Ling Xiaoyu, the best way to hit them is to hit them with a low, because they're always so close to the ground. They dodge a lot of mids and highs. But because of that, Yoshimitsu is kind of on the downside. But most of the time, you're playing against the player, not against the character. That was my phone. Random text message. Ooh, double text message. There we go. Yeah, don't stop telling me that. I'll do that later. I got a new computer. Nice wallpaper, by the way. But yeah, that's basically it. Like the thing is, though, everybody in Tekken plays the same. Whether you like it or not, everybody kind of has the same kind of concept, for the most part. You'll see some weird ones every now and then, like, Zafina and like Ogre. It's a little weird too. Like, they have their own gimmicks. They got their stuff that is very tricky, but for the most part, everyone plays the same. Everyone's got their low pokes, everyone got their mid pokes, everyone's got their whiff punishers, everyone's got their launchers, everyone's got their knockdown lows, everyone's got their launch punishable stuff, everyone's got their 50-50 high risk stuff. But despite that, when players abuse stuff that is not part of the generic moveset, like let's say 3-ring circus, right? Asuka's and Jun's 3-ring circus, and Devil Jin's, but not a lot of people use Devil Jin's because it's not as good. Attack is a high-low, then ending in another high string. Yeah, it's high-low, high, and it's very, very unseeable, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. But it leads into a 50-50 mix-up. Now that kind of thing is not a lot of people have, but like a forced string where they put you in a mix-up right away, and it's very, it's safe for the most part, and it's hard to see coming. Well, you can duck that, and that's something unique to Asuka and Jun. You have to duck it as soon as you get hit by. As soon as you see, you have to start ducking and then punish it right away, because that's the only way. Because you can stop before it gets to the 50-50 mix-up, or stuff like that. Or like Harong has his like really crazy pressure with his kicks and like ambiguous high lows, and then eventually sneaky mid launcher, and like not sure if its frames are good or whatever, like stuff like that. It's very, very easy to lose to that if you're unprepared to fight it. So sometimes if you hit a roadblock against character, there's no better way to defeat them than to learn the character themselves, so that way you can learn the limitations of the character, and then endorse yourself. Is that really the right word to use? I don't know. Get yourself within the knowledge to beat that character. Like, one of the very easiest examples is Mishimas, because Mishimas don't have a lot of tools. It's just that the tools that they do have are very, very good, like, you know, Hell Sweep, Electric, and then they have their mid launcher, which is a lot slower, which they mix in with their Hell Sweeps and their Electrics. But if you know that, you know, a specific Mishima is like always doing Electrics, always doing Hell Sweeps, they don't do anything else, well then you can beat that by just instinctively ducking a lot. And eventually their Electrics, no matter how well they're good at it, they're just gonna whiff it, and then you can punch them. You know, stuff like that. It's that's pretty much how it works out. You just gotta know what's coming and how you can deal with it. Like, I know Ling decently, so I know that whenever she does California Roll, whenever I block that, I just gotta do a really quick far-reaching low or something, or mid that reaches really far down, like back 2-2 from Law, or down 4 from Lei, or down 4 from Leo, or down 4 with a lot of down 4s, so down 4 with Fang, or anything like that. Like, usually that'll stop them from doing the double California Roll, because if you try to jab punish, or even some mids against double California Roll, you're gonna get launched. And so, you know, it's just, there's no reason not to learn other characters. And I know it's like, it's really, really tiresome, because that's a lot of information to hold within your head. But, you know, it can only help you as a player, because I myself don't know everybody. And, you know, that's why I'm not, like, the best player online ever. Along with lag, but that's another story. Because, you know, I get flabbergasted against certain matchups that are just like, what do? I don't know what he's doing. He's throwing some strings. I think that's jab punch. Oh shit, he sidestepped that. Oh no, what do I do? See, it's moments like those where you really wish that you had the knowledge to understand what your opponent is thinking when they throw that string out. Why did he throw out a 3-hit string? Like, for example, another example is Ogre, right? A lot of Ogre players, I'm talking about True Ogre, a lot of True Ogre players, Ogre doesn't really have really good tools for the most part, but what he does have is a really sneaky way to put in a 50-50, an ambiguous 50-50 mix-up, which is he has this string, I think it's like back 3, 2, 1 plus 2 or something like that. It's like where he flies, there's a 3-hit string, and if the first part hits, it's all natural combo, it's pretty slow. The thing is, True Ogre can delay the last hit, and he doesn't have to do it, because you can try to interrupt it in the middle if he does the final hit, but he'll stop doing string, and then he'll just throw you, or do a launcher, or something like that, like Samsara, or he'll do his, what she calls it, what's that move called? Waning Moon, that's what I'm thinking of, Waning Moon. So he'll just do this 3-hit string, and then after he's trained you to wait for it, I hate when he does that. When he trains you to wait for the string, he's going to throw out a Waning Moon, or, you know, next time he keeps doing the Waning Moon, then you're gonna duck it or start breaking it, and then he'll start throwing out other throws, or he'll start doing Samsaras or hop kicks or whatever. I don't even think he has a hop kick, but yeah, that's the mix-up. And, you know, the way you deal with that is you either gotta interrupt Ogre as he's coming in, or know that whatever he's gonna do here, he has to either low you or throw you, because doing a Samsara is really unsafe. So basically what he's gonna do is he's gonna do that string, just wait for it, don't interrupt it, and he does the whole thing, punish through with I-13, and if he stops, then get ready to break a grab. See, stuff like that. But if you didn't know that, then you'd be flabbergasted, and then, you know, Ogre would really, really F you up. So, basically, so that's basically what, I mean, I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again. It's just, yeah, you really gotta know your matchup knowledge. It's not enough to be too good at playing neutral. You gotta understand what kind of player your opponent is, and how he's playing the character, and what they mean, what they think of, what you gotta know what they're thinking when they throw out certain moves, and, you know, how to see baits and stuff like that. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I'm probably gonna, you know, I probably edit in some match footage to show you what I mean, but yeah. So this has been Pepperoni Spicy. I'll see you guys somewhere else. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, so it's probably gonna be in an LP or something. Okay, I'll see you guys later.